4th August 1875, the story of my life. Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati. There are many people who are always asking me to prove that I am a Brahmin. Some are even asking me to produce some letters from my friends and relatives as a proof or to introduce them to someone who knows me. Therefore, I am telling you my story today. In comparison with the people of other states, those of Gujarat are little emotional. If I would write to my friends or relatives, or if I would give them my address, then they would come after me, and that would be a great obstacle for me from which I have freed myself. I am afraid that they might follow me. I do not want to have any correspondence with them. Dharangadhara is a kingdom in Gujarat, and in its border is located a town called Morvi, where I was born. I am a Udichiya Brahmana. The Udichiya Brahmanas are the followers of Samaveda school, but I studied with much difficulty the Yajurveda. My parents are wealthy landowners. At present I am 50 years old. 8 years after my birth, my sister was born. I had an uncle. I was the apple of his eye. There are some 15 households in my family. I was first taught the Rudra Adhyaya, 16th and 18th chapter of Yajurveda, and then I started the study of Shukla Yajurveda. My father taught me the worship of Lord Shiva. I was 10 years old and I started the worship of idol of Mahadeva. Once my father asked me to observe the vows Vrata of Shivaratri, but I did not agree. Then he narrated me the story of Shivaratri. I was greatly impressed and I firmly decided to observe the vow and to fast. My mother was telling me not to fast, but I did not listen to her, and I started my fasting. There is a big temple near the locality where I lived. On the day of Shivaratri, many people had assembled there to pray. There were many people there besides my father and me. The rituals for the first prahara, the first part of the night, was already performed. The rituals of the second prahara were also completed. Now it was midnight, and all the devotees who were present started to doze here and there in the temple. My father too fell asleep, and the pujari, the priest, left the temple. I kept myself awake because I feared that my vows would not be completed if I fell asleep. And a miracle happened. Rats came out of their holes and were running around and climbing on the idol of Mahadeva. They began to eat the offerings that were placed there. I kept on watching the rats with awe. One day earlier I had already listened the katha of Shivaratri from my father. I was told how terrible Shiva was and how great was his power, his weapons, the Pashupata-astra, etc., and about his means of transport, the bull. And knowing all these and looking at the deeds of tiny creatures, I was greatly awestruck. My mind was full of questions. I asked myself why Shiva, who killed mighty demons, was not able to protect himself from those rats. I awakened my father and asked him why Shiva was not able to throw away these rats. But the reply of my father was that my mind was impure. He added that this was only an idol, Murti. Then I decided that I would do puja only when I would be able to see the real Shiva, the holder of Trishul. With this thought in my mind, I returned home and I was hungry. I asked for food from my mother. My mother said, "I told you, son, that you won't be able to fast, but you did not listen." She gave me food to eat and advised me not to appear before my father for a couple of days, and neither talk to him, otherwise he would not spare me. After taking my food, I went to sleep. I woke up at 8 a.m. on the next morning. I narrated the whole incident to my uncle. My uncle handled the situation with tact and told my father that he should not request me to observe fast, etc., as I had to study. At that time, I was studying the Yajurveda from him, and a Pandit was teaching me grammar. Then I went to study in the village where we owned a land. In our house, there used to be a dance party on a certain day, and once on that occasion, my sister fell seriously ill. She was lying on the deathbed. She was unable to speak. I went in and stood near her. I had never witnessed death in my life. When my sister died, I was greatly disturbed and full of fear. I thought that one day everyone has to die. Everyone was weeping, but my heart was overwhelmed with fear, and not even one drop of tear came out of my eyes. Looking at me, my father said that I had a heart of stone. My mother loved me a lot, but she also made similar remarks. They used to advise me to try to sleep, but I was unable to sleep properly. Often I woke frightened and at midnight, and all sorts of thoughts haunted my mind. According to the custom which was prevalent in the society, 5 or 6 times weeping sessions were held, and again I did not weep, and all looked at me with disdain. When I was 19 years old, my uncle also passed away. He used to love me a lot. Before dying, he called me near him. Someone was observing his pulse. I was sitting near him, and while he was looking at me, tears were flowing from his eyes. I also began to weep, and I wept bitterly. I had never wept so much in my life. At that moment, I began to realize that one day I will die like my uncle. Having such feelings in my mind, I started asking my friends and the Pandits about the means to escape death and how to become immortal. They advised me about yoga and its practice. Then I thought that I should leave the parental roof and go away. I was about 20 years old. My father noticed that I was very depressed. He asked me to go to and look after our land, but I did not agree. Then my father decided to get me married so that there may be some change in my behavior. It was the talk of the day in our house. When I came to know about it, I took the decision that I would never get married. I disclosed my feelings to a friend, but he did not agree with me. Instead, he encouraged me to accept the proposal. So I decided to leave the parental home. Nobody gave me a proper advice. Everyone was requesting me to get married. All arrangements for the wedding ceremony were finalized within a month. One day I left my house taking along with me a dhoti. I asked a soldier to convey a message to my parents that I had gone to a friend's house. I went to a neighboring village. At home, my parents waited for me up to 10 p.m. At night, I left the village and reached another village some 10 kosas away, where I stayed in a Hanuman Mandir. From there, I went to meet a certain yogi called Sayala, but it was useless. I came to know about another yogi called Lala Bhakta. I went to see him. On my way, I met a Vairagi who was sitting with a Murti before him. I talked to him. When he saw my gold rings, he said that I would not be able to realize my wish and become a Vairagi wearing these gold rings. He thus convinced me to offer the rings to Murti. I stayed there and practiced yoga. One night, while I was sitting under a tree, I heard a strange voice. I thought that it was a ghost. I rushed into the temple, but I discovered that it was Lala Bhakta who was purposely making the strange sound sitting on the tree. Then I left for another village situated in the vicinity of Ahmedabad. There were many Vairagis there. A certain queen was duped by them. Once the queen tried to be romantic to me, but I was able to save myself. I stayed there for some 3 months. Here the Vairagis were making fun of me because I used to wear a dhoti made of silk. So I threw it away. Now I had only 3 rupees left. I bought an ordinary dhoti for me. From that day I started calling myself as Brahmachari. During those days I came to know that a fair would be held at Siddhapur in the month of Kartika. I left for Siddhapur as I thought that I might come across certain accomplished yogi who would be able to teach me the knowledge to escape death. On my way, I met someone who was from my village. That guy informed my father that I had gone to Siddhapur. My father and other relatives were still searching for me. My father reached Siddhapur accompanied by 4 soldiers. I was sitting in Mandir and unexpectedly I saw my father standing in front of me. I was stunned. I thought he would beat me. Without losing time, I stood up and touched his feet. He was very angry. I told him that a wicked person brought me here and that I wanted to go back home, and it was good that he had come. He broke my water pot and tore my dress. He then gave me the dress he had bought with him and we returned home. Let us see the part 2 in the next video. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.